Check. Stop recording.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to BVI Pilots. I am your host, John. Glad to be here with you once again. And this time we are going beyond the runway, and we're going to be talking about SpaceX. And beyond that, we're also going to be talking about a couple other things. And Brandon, what's on the list?
Oh man, we couldn't be living in more exciting times, folks. So we're going to be talking about the Artemis program, which is I'm looking forward to that because it's the return to the moon, folks.
Absolutely. So let's start out by let me just remind you guys that if you're not subscribed to the channel, tap on that subscribe button. Be sure to set your notifications so that you're notified each and every single time that we publish a new video, and most importantly, if we go live. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at BVI Pilots, and you can also find us on Twitch, which is Pilot Life 2020, and we got a Facebook page, I believe. It's got some work, so I'm not going to. Well, we'll worry about that later. Anyways, so first of all, I know that we're usually doing flights on, doing videos on airplanes and stuff like that. But guys, this is, it's not airplanes today. It is, talking future stuff, talking about spacecrafts and the future of space technology and all that stuff. But it's a really interesting topic, and I thought that we were talking about it. And I thought what, that's a good idea. Let's do it. So I was going to run it live, but I thought no, we'll just do it on video. So with that said, we'll go ahead and get started here. First, let's talk about SpaceX and kind of where that came into picture. Brandon, you want to kind of give them some info on who is SpaceX? Where did they come from? And when did they really start to be noticed?
So SpaceX is a company that was founded by Elon Musk, and for those of you who don't know who he was the founder of Tesla, which is the automatic vehicles, and he decided to go into the space industry when NASA retired the space shuttle in 2011, and he started working with NASA to develop SpaceX and the Dragon spacecraft. And I think they really started to get notice when they started having successful flights to the International Space Station with their cargo craft. And I really think they really got noticed when they test launched their first demo uncrewed flight of a crewed Dragon spacecraft, which is a capsule.
Hmm.
And they really started taking off when they started flying crews aboard the Dragon in 2020, which I gotta say, that day was a very exciting day when we saw two astronauts finally return to space after more than a decade of not being able to launch from America since the space shuttle retired. That was really exciting.
And let's just think about that for a second, you guys. We have been going to space and doing all these
Since the Apollo.
launch things, and it's always been the space shuttle. Always. It's always been the same thing
Well, in our lifetime.
in our lifetime, yes. But well, I mean, look how long that's been. How long have they been using
Yeah.
the space shuttle? If you think about it.
We have been using the space shuttle since 1981, and before that, we were using Apollo, Gemini, and Mercury space capsules. So,
Yeah, and if you think about it, 81 to now, well, it ended in
2011.
2011. So 98 to 2011,
No city
or
nearby. North Atlantic Ocean.
not 98. Uh,
A- 81 to 2011.
81
That's
to
almost 40
2011.
years.
Yeah, same technology
135 missions.
over and over and over and over, and now we've got the new technology. As a matter of fact, those of you right now are probably listening to this or watching this either with your phones, or some of you might be on your Windows 10 computer. And Brandon, tell them what's so amazing about Windows 10 and what Windows 10 got to do with all this.
Windows 10 has a lot to do with this because the very same operating system you are running right now at home on Earth is running the Dragon spacecraft.
That's right, guys. So they got Windows 10, and they've got different applications, I'm sure, programs installed into the Windows 10, and it's just like us running the program, right? If you look at simming, we've got Windows 10, and Windows 10 is what runs, you know,
The simulator.
P3D or Microsoft 2020 or the old FSX or Microsoft Steam. Well, now they've got
Mm-hmm.
Windows 10 that is running the new technology, and really, I'm a little shocked that it was this far out that it started to go to something new, but it all goes back on money as well, right? You don't
Money and
advance.
politics.
Yeah, you can't advance if the money's not being pushed out to organizations. Now, of course, SpaceX, they were their own identity.
They were their own startup company.
Yeah, they were their own. Yeah, and so they was doing this, and it didn't matter. Like Microsoft, no one else was sitting there saying. I almost said Microsoft. No one else was sitting there saying, "Hey, you can't do that." They did it, and then they went and said, "Hey, NASA, check out what we got. This is what we got. This is
Yep.
what we want to do." And NASA says, "Oh, wait a minute. It all adds up.
Matter of
It all
fact.
works. So yeah, let's
Mm-hmm.
let's team up and let's make something happen."
Oh, they're making things happen, all right. As a matter of fact, they're going to be a crucial player in what we're going to be talking about next, too.
Yeah, and what is that? What are we talking about next, Brandon? Go ahead and let's move forward.
So, we're going to be talking about the return to the moon. Yes, I am excited about this, folks, because I've never really got to experience the Apollo missions. And we are going to be returning with the sister of Apollo, which is named Artemis.
And that's pretty amazing, right? That now we're going
Mm-hmm.
back and we're going back with newer technology. We're going back with bigger plans, bigger ideas. Um, guys,
Absolutely.
if anybody thinks that there was never a purpose of going to the moon, you're wrong. There was always a
And I've
purpose.
heard this from, yeah, I've heard this from a lot of people. Well, we've already been to the moon. Why are we going back? It's a waste of time. I don't think it is. Because when we first went to the moon, what did we do? We just, walked around, explored, that's it. We didn't really do much. We're actually going to do things and utilize the materials of the moon now and do different things, which is really cool.
When Neil Armstrong put his first boot on the moon, the thought was man going that extra mile and doing something that would make history. It wasn't about what we're doing now. It wasn't about, you know, okay, we're doing this because we're getting ready to do this, this, and this. They went to the moon. We left some stuff on the moon. We left, flags on the moon. Some moon
Plaques. We
plaques,
left moon rovers on the moon.
rovers. Um, it will be interesting to go back and see what was, what was put there back then. But now we're thinking about other things, bigger things, the bigger picture. And I've always said that in business, in college, in life in general, you always gotta look at the bigger picture because that is what's going to
Yep.
take you that extra mile, right? And so
Exactly.
now we're saying, hey, let's let's make the moon something that's just as easy as getting up and going to work for an hour or whatever. You know,
Yep.
um, we know we can get. I mean, one of the reasons is distance. If we get to the moon and we
Hmm.
can build on the moon,
We
now
can
we
get to other places.
now we can start taking supplies to that said station that we built on the moon. Even fuel, food, repair parts, new equipment to build new stuff, and I see, um, and you're going to learn about this here in a minute because I'm going to bring it up, but I see us also even having robots on the moon that will be there to maintain things, keep things up to date, keep things looked over. Counting there'll be human there as well, but if human needs to leave, you still got the droids there doing their part, doing their job. So next thing I
From
wanted
what
to
I was reading,
go ahead.
these new moon rovers they're gonna be putting on the moon are gonna be remote. You're gonna be able to control them remotely too, so you don't have to be in the rover.
Isn't that amazing? Be able to
Hmm.
drive it. Well, and I think the reason they're doing that is so they can drive it in new places, and that way, if there is an accident or something of that nature, nobody gets hurt. I believe that's why they're doing that.
Now, do you want to tell them? Do you want to tell everybody about the exciting bit about the Artemis 1 mission that we're going to be able to utilize with our Echo devices?
For which one again?
Artemis 1.
Oh yeah. So if you have an Alexa device, what we want you to do is just look at Alexa and say, Alexa, take me to the moon. And you're going to see that's going to give you some information and let you know that uh, that is, there's a trip scheduled to the moon, and it'll let you know a day. I think it says a day before or something like that. Um,
Yeah. You're basically going to be able to ask about the Artemis 1 spacecraft conditions. It's going to have the assistant for Amazon on board so you can utilize it on your Echo device as it's going to the moon to ask about different things and get updates, which that's exciting in itself.
yeah, it really is. There are just so many things happening, and there's you've got that group of people that don't really pay attention to it, and you're like, okay, that's cool. But then you got the people like me, like Brandon and others that watching the technology advance more and more, it just amazes me. It amazes me.
I check my NASA app every day for schedule updates. That's another thing, folks. I would highly recommend if you are interested in space and returning to the moon and stuff like that. I would strongly recommend getting the NASA app so you can check out the schedule of what's coming up as far as launches and everything else goes, which it's very useful.
Um, sorry, I was reading something. So I don't know. I think that
No city nearby, North Atlantic Ocean.
if let me ask you, Brandon, if you ever had the opportunity to take a trip to the space station or to the moon or even a flight, around the world a couple times or whatever, what would your answer be? Would you go?
I would go. Especially if I got an offer to take a trip to the moon. Yes, I would go.
Yeah. Now,
I would love to go see the Apollo landing sites.
some might not know this. What is the time frame when that capsule takes off? How long do you think it is before you arrive to the moon? And in a couple
In the
days.
Apollo days, is about a 3-day journey to the moon. So I'm assuming in the newer capsule you're going to have the same amount of time. So I'd say it's about a 3-day journey to the moon and back.
So you got a couple of days, in the spaceship, being able to, just enjoy yourself. I would say, enjoy the scenery, but it's pretty much gonna be black unless,
Unless the sun's out.
yeah, exactly. So, um, I wonder. So, Brandon, what else would you thinking of? Before I bring up this other topic, what else was on your agenda tonight with the SpaceX and all that?
I'm just going to say, like I said, I'm really, really excited about returning to the moon and seeing our astronauts walk on the moon again because I was not alive, unfortunately, during the Apollo days, and I've watched those missions, and I can see where people were very excited at that time in that era, and I, unfortunately, didn't get to experience that. But I am excited to see that we are actually going to be doing a similar project and returning, and actually, like I said, going in the sister of Apollo, which is Artemis. I think that's actually appropriate. I think that name really fits. It's a fitting name for a space program.
Something else that I find really amazing I think it was, when was that they plan on starting that project? Was it next year?
Artemis?
No.
They're starting this year.
No, the Space Center. With the hotel and all that stuff that I shared with you.
The Voyager station. They're saying they're gonna start that in mid 2025, I believe, if I remember it right. The article I read.
Basically, the idea is it will have artificial gravity. You will get to rent a room like you would at a hotel. It's got a workout area, swimming, food, I mean, you name it.
Yep.
And it's there. So,
I think that's really a cool idea.
yeah, and they said they're going to put basically it's going to spin so fast, that's what's going to create the gravity, but it's going to have a ring around it that I think is going to keep it intact and keep it spinning in that one position. So, it's not going to be just like we have on Earth where it's, I mean, there's going to be gravity on there, but it's just different the way they're doing it. They're making it as if they're basically treating it like it is Earth spinning, but it's not.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to spin it so fast that you won't even notice the spinning like you do on Earth, and you're just able to walk like normal.
That's the idea. That's what they're.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're wanting to do, and that's why they're wanting to put the ring around it. Because I would say there's probably gonna be sensors and stuff on that ring, and maybe some.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even some magnetic
Normal
fields
cursor.
going there to push, resisting spots and pulling other spots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I just know that when that happens, Um, I don't know. I'm excited for all of it.
Me too.
What?
I think I honestly, I think we need to start utilizing space for, different purposes other than, oh, let's just experiment. I want to see economies start, things happen, and I think it will. I'm really excited about the future of where things are going.
I, don't- I think that my opinion, and I'm not saying NASA doesn't have money because they do, but they're all about money. I mean, let's face it.
Oh yeah.
But I think without SpaceX, if it was just another company, I don't think it'd be as wealthy. I don't think it'd be as
No.
profitable. Um, because SpaceX really brought in a lot of funding on these projects.
I don't think if SpaceX was not in existence now, I don't think we would see the Artemis program really take off.
I don't neither. I think NASA would still just be, hey, this is what we used to have. It's all music. I remember the 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 last day when they were transferring shuttles and stuff to to the other location,
Uh-huh.
as far as the ones that were not flying no more, that is. And
Yeah,
that was a sad day, folks. Sad day.
it really was.
There was a lot of people that were impacted by that. Um, they're not just because, well, we're not flying this no more, but there's a lot of people got taken out of, jobs. And
Oh yeah, they lost their jobs and they had their livelihoods, like their careers, based on the shuttle.
yeah, I mean, they worked hard to get where they were. They planned on, probably retiring and all that. And they didn't get to. But again, no funding. It can't go on. And if NASA asks for more funding from, the government to come up more ways, it's got to be agreed on. I remember them asking a few times for more funding, but they just were having trouble getting it.
You know, and I think it's sad that space and politics and money just have to be interconnected, entwined. And it's really sad that all three of those have to be interconnected to one another
It really is. It
to
really
work.
is.
It shouldn't be, but it is.
I mean, let's think about this, Matt. Let's say that they said, okay, we're asking anybody and everybody we can get in the United States to donate $2. If they actually did it, you know how much money that is?
A lot of money.
Billions of dollars. But
Hmm.
that is the way it works. It'd be like me asking, hey guys, if y'all could donate to the channel, that'd be great. And all of a sudden, let's say, I don't know, 1 million people came in and donated $2 each.
You'd have over $2 million for the channel.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a lot easier said than done, but at the same time, that's how easy it could be. But
Yeah.
we don't do things that way. You know,
No, unfortunately, we make it harder than it needs to be. I'll tell you guys a little bit of history, actually. The
Go ahead.
space shuttle really, and nobody else knows this, but I've done a lot of reading, but the space shuttle was not supposed to be just for, let's just go into low Earth orbit and build a space station. It was actually going to be a space system to where it would be like easier to transport people to and
Locating
from
nearby,
space
South
at a
Atlantic
low
Ocean.
cost. But unfortunately, politics got in the way because the original plan for NASA was not going to be the space shuttle. It was going to be, let's develop technology to get to the moon, stay on the moon, and go to Mars. And unfortunately, politics got in the way, funding got in the way, and we got the space shuttle instead. Which, honestly, I think that was very unfortunate.
I mean, the one thing that I find amazing, though, if you look at all the shuttles that we've flown,
Mm-hmm.
you your TV takes more power than what even that shuttle ran off of.
Yep.
I think they said that, was it a toaster? I can't remember what they compared it to, but it's nothing. Like,
Exactly.
that's where the amazing part of it all came in, is the amount of power that it took to run everything was hardly nothing. Now,
And I'm amazed at the different programs we have, because I was born into the space shuttle program. Actually, I was born when it was actually in its beginning stages,
yeah, see, I was born
and
in
now here I am.
I was born in '78, so
Okay, so you got to actually experience the very first shuttle launch as far as the beginning parts of it, but no, it's amazing to me. I was born in '81 in September, so space shuttle was just getting going then too. But it's amazing here, 40 something years later, I'm living through. Let's do another era of space flight. We got Dragon, we got Artemis coming up, which is really amazing to me.
hmm well, when was the first day that we launched the shuttle?
April 12th of 1981.
There you go. I'd have been what? Let's see, 3, I think, 3,
Mhm.
4, something like that. Too young to remember. Um, it's amazing where we are today, though, and
It really is.
I really hope that this opens up big doors, and I think it will.
I honestly think it will, because it's funny you were talking about food, fuel, and water earlier, because Artemis is doing exactly what you actually said that you were hoping we would do.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little more about that. What all is?
So the way this is going to work, apparently from my reading and understanding of this, so we're going to have 3 different Artemis missions, and well, to get it going, essentially to certify it. So mission 1, which is our upcoming mission, which I'm excited about, that's hopefully going to launch sometime next month. We don't know when, because they haven't released it. So it's basically going to be a test flight to make sure all the hardware and the software work and talk to each other the right way. So it's basically going to go out past the moon and come back on what's called a free return trajectory, basically having the moon assist it and slingshot it around back to Earth. So that's going to happen.
And how fast is it going to be going?
And then Artemis, and this is the weird part, folks. So when it comes back into Earth, it's going to be traveling at Mach 32.
Wow.
That is unbelievably fast.
That's because of the momentum that it's going to be gaining, going
Yeah.
around and around.
Well, and it's going to have to do that because of the fact that when we go out, it's going to have to go through what's called the Van Allen radiation belts.
hmm
So, and it's going to waste a lot of fuel going through those because it has to get through them. And they won't have enough fuel to do that coming back. So, they're going to use a free return trajectory to come back from the moon. So, when that's done and they get all the data approved, they're going to launch the first crewed mission in May of 2024, hopefully. And that's going to basically take 4 astronauts in the Orion spacecraft using the same launch system,
Hmm.
and it's going to let them study the moon, basically get analysis of where the safest place would be to land at the South Polar region, and then they're going to come back and they're going to start putting the gateway up around the moon, which is going to be a miniaturized version of the International Space Station. And then Artemis 3 is going to put 2 people on the moon for about 4 days. And they're going to, I don't know what they're going to do on Artemis 3, but it's going to be very exciting. I think they're going to get ice samples from the moon and stuff like that. And it's really exciting. And I think that's going to take place hopefully in 2025. So we got some pretty exciting stuff coming up
So the station
with
that they're
that.
going to put right there by the moon, that's just going to be more
Yeah,
of
they're going
a,
to put it they're going to put it in orbit around the moon.
right, and that's going to probably hold a lot of supplies, and I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's going to be basically the supplies for the, place for the supplies and the fuel for the moon, the lunar landers that are going to go down. So, here's the interesting part about the lunar landers. Now, for those who don't know, Apollo used the same technology for lunar landers, but they were pretty small. These are going to be a little bit larger, and apparently they're going to use the same principle Apollo's did, where they're going to have a descent stage and an ascent stage, where basically you can get off the moon and come back
Hmm.
to the gateway outpost.
That's amazing,
It really is amazing.
folks. I believe when that happens, we will then be able to discover even more.
Absolutely, from what my understanding is, we're going to actually try to develop a base on the moon at some point, so we can start using that as a jumping off point to go even further to maybe Mars
Or further.
or further. They're not limiting it to just Mars. They're talking about further out into space, which is absolutely amazing.
If you think about it,
I think it's about time we do this.
and right now we really don't know what's out there,
Nope.
but we will
Absolutely.
real soon. I mean, not like real soon, but you know what I mean. With all the stuff going on, I mean,
Yeah.
it's in soon. But so, what are your guys' questions? Whatever they are, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let you guys view this off and on throughout the week, and then the following week, a week from tomorrow, we're going to come back and we're going to answer questions that might be left in the comment section, or you can email us. You'll find the emails in the description. Find them emails, send us your questions, comments, thoughts. Do you have a interest in space? Do you got any dreams or things that you would like to do in your lifetime related to space? We want to hear it. So email us. There's going to be some emails there. You can contact me. You can contact Brandon. And we're going to keep this conversation going. And, as time passes, more happen. We'll continue to come back and have, those random dates where we talk about, all the different things we talked about today. So,
Oh, we'll definitely have to come back after the Artemis 1 launch and talk about that too, and
No city nearby, South Atlantic
what's
Ocean.
going on there. And yeah, and I'm going to also say, if I don't have an answer directly for any questions you guys might have, I can probably get them and do them on a follow-up video.
right. So, again, you got questions, ask. we'll get you the answers. Um, yes, the channel is based on flying airplanes, but I find it to be a very interesting topic,
Me too.
and I think in ways it fits right here. It might not be a video flying from Los Angeles to Miami, but it's a video of our future flying, right?
I think space flight's very important, and I think it does fit in this channel and this genre because it is flying.
When I first learned about SpaceX, I'm not going to kid you, I about my pants.
Yeah.
I thought, wait a minute, this is some new technology here. And
And yes, SpaceX is an essential partner in Artemis. I can see somebody's going to send in a question already about it. Yes, they are going to play a role in this. They
yeah,
are actually going to be developing the human landing system for the lunar landers.
yeah, yeah, it's all connected. It's all connected. Um, we took a break too long, if you ask me, from the moon.
I agree. It's time we return to the moon and do things.
I agree, because we've not done it for a while. And here's the other thing.
Over 50 years.
Here's the other thing. If we don't, we're eventually going to give somebody else the opportunity to do it ahead of us, and there goes history. There
Yep.
goes the United States making history. Not that
Yep.
not that other countries can't do that, but I would like to see us do that, and maybe partner up with people from other countries. But let's make this happen, people.
Yeah, seriously.
The day that we could just land on Mars ourselves and exit, a aircraft and begin studies or building, I'm going to hope that I'll be able to at least one day take a trip. That's on my bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all things, that is one of the things on my bucket list. To be able to travel to space and back home.
Oh, me too.
I would absolutely love that. So, again, you guys, we appreciate all of you. And maybe there's something that we don't know. Maybe we didn't bring something up. Maybe Brandon forgot something. I forgot something. Let us know. We're not going to judge you because you told us about something, or make fun of you, or whatever the case might be. Okay? So, Brandon, anything you want to throw out there?
All I'm going to say is stay tuned. Definitely when Artemis 1 launches, utilize your Echo devices and start asking about updates, get notifications with it, and hopefully at that point we'll do a follow-up video and talk about the exciting things that are happening, because I'm guaranteeing you guys, as long as NASA does broadcast coverage of that mission, you better believe I'm going to be watching throughout the whole mission.
And anything that we can stream for you guys, me and Brandon didn't decide that we're going
We'll
to
do
stream
it.
it. Okay? So,
We'll do it. I actually host NASA on my Twitch
Stop
channel.
recording.
yeah, so there you go. So y'all stick around. You might want to sit down and buckle up, because we're going to take you on a hell of a ride. Until next time, y'all
Absolutely.
stay safe. You got questions? Contact us. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Keep the blue skies up and the deep space a little higher.
Good one.
And yeah, hopefully I don't know. Hopefully we got some good things coming. I think we do. Y'all take care, and we'll talk to you here real soon. See ya.